Hey everybody, it's Missy with the Shimmerz Education team. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm back with a new layout, and I wanted to remind you, if you leave my name in the comments section when you are shopping on the Shimmerz website, then you can earn yourself a free paint. So don't forget to do that because freebies are always awesome. I'm going to start with what I have left of the moths background from Paige Evans' cut file. If you saw my latest Cocoa Vanilla Studio layout, then you saw I use the actual outlines of the butterflies. Well, today I'm going to use the butterflies that were left on the cutting mat, and I'm going to use a lot of brand new Shimmerz colors. These are two of the newest vibes, Pink Moscato and Rose Gold Red, and then some of these little original Shimmerz paints that are in the little pots, and one Blings. And I want to apologize in advance. I have a cold, my head is all stuffy, and so that is why I sound this way. Hopefully my voice won't drive you too crazy. So all I did was peel off those butterflies, or moths. I think they look like butterflies, but I don't really care what they are. I think they're beautiful. And I've got a scrap piece of paper, and I'm just going to start to color them. I'm going to spray them. Look at these two colors. That's the Pink Moscato that I sprayed first, and then the Rose Gold Red. Can you see the gold powder mixed in that spray? It is so beautiful. Both of them have gold powder in them. So when they dry, they're going to have obviously the color, but also a beautiful gold shimmer. Now this color here is a Blings, and it's called Gold and Roses, and it's almost like a really soft champagne color. And when it dries, you guys are going to just die when you see the sparkle. It is so pretty. Now this color here is golden yellow. It's called Christmas Cheer, and it looks really yellow, and it does have a yellow tone to it, but it's more of a golden yellow. And when it dries, again, it's very, very sparkly. Everything that you see here in these little pots, the paint is a lot thicker than the inklings or creamies and the sprays, and it's just got this shimmery glitter mixed in with it that is so gorgeous. This is called Moon Rock, the color that I'm using there. And it's got a gold tint to it, but also kind of like a platinum color kind of mixed in. And this pink one is called Moulin Rouge, soft glittery pink. You're really going to be able to see these later once they're dry. They are so sparkly. I can't say that enough. I just kind of grabbed the new colors that I got and sort of said, you know what, I'm going to make this a color scheme. Hopefully they'll match. And this is something to be careful about. Sometimes your bottle, the nozzle at the top may get a little bit loose, and when you go to mix up your paint, it may leak. That's what's happening with my bottle there. I need to look at it and probably rinse it out. So I kind of did some splatters there that I wasn't planning on doing, but that's okay. So everything's kind of dry, and I'm just kind of going back and doing a second coat on some of these, and then doing a little bit of mixing and matching with the colors. So this is going to wind up being a pinkish neutral gold with a little bit of yellow thrown in. Yeah, that didn't even make any sense, did it? But you can see here the colors that I'm using, and I think they look so pretty together. And I really only use cardstock. I use a couple of embellishments for this layout, but I don't know, when I go to make my layout for this team, I'm just inspired to start from scratch. That's what I like to call it. And that means I just use a cut file, or I get a fresh sheet of cardstock and just kind of create my own shapes or create my own backgrounds. And I don't really start with a collection. I like to just kind of start with the paints and the paper. And I just want to show you that you can totally make a layout without a collection. You know, I know a lot of people, it is easier, I guess you could say, to make a layout with a collection to start with because everything matches. But if you like mixed media, then this is something that you should definitely try. Just start with some white cardstock and, you know, paint it up and punch out shapes, or use a cut file like this. Yeah, just cut it on white and paint it, and you could come up with any color scheme you want. You can mix and match like I'm doing here, and it's going to wind up looking so pretty, I think. Yeah, the Rose Gold Red, you can see when you spray it, it's dark, but when it dries, it lightens up a little bit. But it's this really pretty, almost like a wine color with a sparkly gold. Look at that. Look at the shimmer. You guys, oh my goodness. Some of these are still wet, but let me tell you, they're so pretty. You cannot go wrong with any of these colors. And there's also some greens that are new and a couple of blues. And you know I love me some blues, but yeah, I just went with this color scheme for this layout today. Thought it was really, really pretty. And this is also a good way to do mixed media without getting too messy, because I know some people like the look of mixed media, but they don't want to create a big mess. So just paint shapes, and then there you go. Everything still looks kind of messy and artsy, but it's controlled and it's within a certain shape. There you can see how everything is just so pretty, shimmery, sparkly, gorgeous. Okay, so I'm going to use this little photo strip, these funny pictures of my child. This was year and a half ago, I guess, when she had started losing her 2 front teeth at the top. And so I was trying to get her to smile so I could see her little gap at the top of her mouth. But of course, she was moving around and laughing and making all kinds of kooky faces. And so I had to take like 100 pictures just to get one. And these aren't even the ones that I got showing her little tooth gap. These were just some cute outtakes, and they make me laugh. So I'm going to make a little photo strip and use those down at the bottom. So what I'm doing here is I'm going back to that Moulin Rouge, the pink color, and I'm doing the packaging technique here. Now this paint is a little thicker than the sprays, so it's going to go on a little bit differently. If you use the packaging technique, I like to add a little bit of water to it just to thin it out, because it is a little bit thicker, but it still works really, really well, and it splatters really well. This is the Christmas cheer color, and I love how these two colors work together. So pretty, and this dries pretty quickly. And it's just got a thicker texture to it also. You'll be able to see here in a minute when I pick up the paper and show you what it looks like. You can almost see it. Look how pretty that is. I know I keep saying that, but I'm just oohing and ahhing over it in person. It's just the picture and the camera doesn't do it justice. It really is that sparkly. Okay, so I'm going to come back in with the pink Moscato, and this is a really pretty dark pink, and like I said earlier, it's got gold powder mixed in with it, so when it dries, it's not only pink, but it's got a gold shimmer to it. So pretty. And it looks dark, but when it dries or when you blot it up, it lightens up a little bit. And so I like to roll paper towels over it, because sometimes if I use a napkin and I press down on top of a splatter, it will make the shape of the splatter it'll mess it up. And so if I feel like if I roll the toilet paper, oh my goodness, the paper towels over it, it keeps the shape of the splatters. And I like for my splatters to be circles, if that makes any sense. So I kind of arranged everything and then saw where I needed to do something at the top. So I'm going to go a little bit more subtle at the top. This is the Blings Golden Roses, and I just want a little bit of color behind those butterflies. Not the pink and the gold that I've got going on at the bottom, but just something. And so this color here, Blings, is all the Blings. There's several different colors of Blings, and they're very sparkly and shimmery, but they're all very, very light. You could pretty much paint over something with them, and it's not going to change the color of it too much. It's going to just enhance the color and give it a little bit more of a sparkle. So you can see how it's sparkly up there, but it's very subtle. So that's what the Blings are for. But I love the color of this one. It's very light and so pretty. So I'm going to go back and rearrange all of those butterflies, and they're not in the same shape as they were in the cut file, and that's okay with me. I just want them to look kind of like they're flying out from behind the picture. And that's kind of like what I did on my other layout with the actual outline of the butterflies. But this just looks different because I'm using the solid shapes instead of the outline where I backed with pattern paper. So this is some adhesive foam, and since all my pictures are pretty much connected there, I'm just going to use a big piece of it to pop up the pictures. And then I went through my stash. Underneath, why is it underneath my desk? I don't know, but I have a bag of stuff, and the Dear Lizzie documentary collection was in there. And so I pulled out the 6x6 paper pad, and I'm going to use that sheet of pink. I just tore it. I had a little bit left over. It matches perfectly. And then that chipboard word crazy is from Freckled Fawn. I've had that for forever. It's on the floor over there in a little bowl underneath my desk where my cameo is. Yeah, I keep a lot of stuff on the floor. Anyway, I'm going to use that. And I tried a couple other things that I pulled out from my stash. Some more Freckled Fawn things and some crate paper random things and a flare button that I wind up not using. I do want to go ahead and stick down all these butterflies, so I add a little bit of stitching. And then to complete my title, I pulled out the crate paper Oasis stamps. I got those in a Hip Kit Club kit a couple months ago, and they are fantastic. And I'm going to use this gold ink pad that I got at Michael's, and I'm going to stamp the rest of my title. And my title's going to be crazy, but also adorable, because she's as cute as she can be, but she is kind of crazy. And, you know, she's my kid, so what can I say? I guess she gets it from me. But she is the queen of making these kind of faces, and it's just hilarious. And I get so excited when I get these pictures because she's so funny. So there's the title, and of course it's not completely centered up. That's the thing about stamping right onto your background, is if it's not perfectly straight, oh well, you can't change it. And so I add a little cork freckled fawn heart over there to the right, and there I'm showing you I did a little bit of stitching with some gold thread, not on all of the butterflies, but just on a couple. So yeah, crazy but also adorable. I don't know why I thought of that, but it just made me laugh. So I'm adding in a little bit of thread on the left and the right, and that is a yellowish gold color that kind of matches the yellow butterflies. And then I'm going to stick that down. I really don't use a whole lot of stuff on this layout, and that's what I love about scrapbooking is, you know, sometimes you don't need a lot of stuff. I think those butterflies kind of, you know, take up a lot of the design, and I don't want to take away from those, and I don't want to clutter up the photo area, and I don't want to add a great big title. This is a little piece from, I think, Crate Paper Open Book. It's a vellum piece that says, "I love everything about this." I have a little container on my desk with a whole bunch of past Crate Paper vellum flowers and tags and all kinds of stuff, because, you know, with Crate Paper you get a ton of stuff from previous collections, and that yellow color matched, so I use that. And then I'm going to add a little bit of journaling down at the bottom. I'm almost done. What am I going to do? Oh yeah, I'm going to add a little bit of dark pink thread at the top and the bottom, just for a little bit more texture without being too overwhelming. You can't even really see it on camera, but I can see it. And you know, I love thread. It makes me happy, and it just adds to the chaos of the background. So I'm going to glue that down. I just like to add a little bit of glue behind wherever the thread is to make sure it's not going to come out. And then this is my final Shimmerz product. This is one of my favorite inklings. It's called Minor 49er, and it is a gorgeous gold. And you can see there it's a lot more watery. It depends on how much water you add, but it's perfect for splattering, and it is gorgeous. You can see it more in the close-ups. The last thing I'm going to do is ruffle up some of the edges of these butterfly wings, and I think that is going to finish this layout up. I had so much fun making this. It was fun to just use random little bits and create a layout just using some white cardstock, and it didn't take much, but I think it's got a big impact. I love the dimension of those butterflies. Yeah, you got to try these colors. You'll be blown away. They're so pretty. Look at those. Look at that. I love the sparkle. The gold is so pretty. The shimmer, oh, I can't stand it. It's so pretty. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Make sure you mention my name when you're doing some shopping. If you need to know any more details about any of the colors or the paints or anything at all, let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you out. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Have a great day.